Hi everyone! I'm so excited today to be out in the garden and share with you some exciting new plants that I was able to get today from a plant sale that was happening at the Toronto Botanical Gardens today, and I picked up a whole bunch of exciting plants that I don't already have in my garden, and I wanted to share them with you. And I'll actually be adding them to my shade garden today, just to kind of brighten up this beautiful shade garden that is taking shape. And I will post a link to the video that I shared with you about some other plants that I added before, some hellebores and some grasses and hostas and Panara, which I'll add a link in the card above, and you can watch that video on details on those plants and the update on the shade garden and the expansion of it and what I've been doing on it. So with that, today I wanted to take the time and share with you some of the plants that I'm adding in the shade garden. So as you can see, there's this beautiful bright Hakonechloa grass that is kind of staring at me in my face, and I love how it's brightening this spot so much. And I'll share with you this grass. So this one is a beautiful Japanese forest grass called all gold Hakonechloa grass, which is an ornamental grass, and it's really perfect for part sun and shade. So look at the vibrant yellow leaves on this. I love how this is so bright in the garden. It's almost like a neon yellow. And the details on the tag, it is a vigorous perennial grass which produces cascading mounds of chartreuse leaves with golden highlights, and the reddish inflorescence in the fall adds more color. So the flowers are going to be more reddish, and it's going to add a nice contrast here. And the broadleaves work great in cascading over rocks and pathways. So it's spectacular as a woodland accent or in containers. So again, the size on this is about 5 to 10 inches and a spread of up to 2 feet. So so I have 3 of these beautiful grasses, and I am going to actually put them along here just to brighten the edge of this bed a little bit, so that they can kind of drape over and look pretty in this spot. I originally wanted to actually put them in the path over there, but I think over here they would look really nice as well. They will add a nice texture this side of the garden, and it's going to brighten it up in this corner here. And just behind it, I plan to add a couple of these plants. They are called, this one doesn't have a tag, but there is a tag over here. So this one is a Britt Crawford big leaf Ligularia. So this one is also a part shade perennial. Beautiful, as you can see, beautiful leaves, and I really only got this plant for its leaves and its color and really pretty foliage. So this one again is going to get 3 to 4 feet tall. So this is going to get quite a bit taller than this one, the grass, and it's going to need about 2 to 3 feet in between, and it needs sun. So this one needs a bit more sun, which is why I am actually planting these more to the edge of the border so that they can get a lot more sun. And it is going to bloom in late summer, and it's great paired with astilbe, ostrich fern, and hosta. And it is got a broad, glossy, deep chocolate purple leaves. It has golden orange daisy-like flowers, and it loves wet, so you have to keep it moist. As you can see, this is what the flowers look like, and the soil here actually retains a lot of moisture, so I think it'll be a good spot for this plant. It really likes consistent moisture, and it's best in a cool, partly shaded location, and it does not like the hot afternoon sun. So I think it's going to be a good plant for this spot. At least I'm going to try it out and see how it does. It is called a Britt Crawford Legularia. So that's the other plant that I'm adding. And then what else am I adding here? So I'm also adding a this plant here, which is also quite stunning. So this is, I have the tag for it. This is called a Rodgersia Panara bronze peacock, and it is a deer resistant plant. As you can see, the tag is tag says that on it. So it's a great plant for deer resistance, and it likes part shade again. And this one here is going to be about 2 feet tall, so not very tall, and it is going to bloom in June and July with these beautiful pink blooms. I'm excited about those. Almost like coral bell blooms, and it loves part shade, and it's hardy up to zone 5, and it is just beautiful. Like, I think the leaves are stunning. I love the shape of the leaves and how they contrast with the Ligularia, and it's going to be beautiful. So this one here is hardy to zone 4 as well, 4 to 9, and the grass, let me just check the zone on it, it's also hardy up to zone 5. So I'm in about zone 6 here, so most of these plants will do well here. And then I got a couple of ferns as well that I will be adding in this spot. I had got this beautiful fern called Lady Fern. It's a lady in red fern. So this one here is, let me just get the dirt off the tag. So this one is again a drought tolerant fern, which is why I wanted to get this one. And it also needs well-drained fertile soil. It's hardy up to zone 3A, so very hardy, and it is it's got burgundy stems with lacy green fronds, low maintenance, sun tolerant, heat and drought tolerant, and deer and rabbit resistant. It's great for rock gardens, woodland gardens, and shade gardens. So excited to add this fern in my garden. It's already looking so beautiful, and this is the lady fern, lady in red. I have 2 of these. And then I also have some Columbine plants that I wanted to share with you. So these are an Aquilegia called Bluebird. So again, this one is going to also be okay in part shade. It grows 2 feet tall, and it's going to need a spacing of 38 centimeters, which is 15 inches. It's a compact variety, and it's topped by masses of light blue flowers with white petals, and it's an excellent size for rock garden or the border. And it flowers in spring and summer, and it requires moist, humus-rich soil for best results. So again, very excited to add these Columbine Aquilegias in my garden. It's called Bluebird, Songbird, Aquilegia. Very excited to have found them, and I can't wait to see them bloom in my garden. So there's 3 of these, and then I have one other plant that I'm adding in the shade garden, which is a bleeding heart. I don't know if there is a tag on this. Yes, there is. So this is again a great plant for the shade, so part shade to full shade. And this is a old-fashioned bleeding heart called Gold Heart. So again, this one, let me check the tag. This one will get 2 feet tall as well, and it needs about 3 feet of space. It needs less than 4 hours of sun, and it's hardy from zones 3 to 9. And it is going to bloom in late spring. So it has yellow springtime foliage. It's arching heart-shaped flowers and pink and white flowers, and it needs rich, loose, well-drained soil and moist soil, and it does not like clay soil. So really excited to add this one here. So this is going to add a nice pop of yellow for me. I'm going to actually add it in this spot here to complement with all my beautiful daffodils. Aren't they stunning? To complement them, and then with the pink bleeding hearts, it's going to look really beautiful. And I have this beautiful Panara in front, which will also complement really nicely with this yellow foliage. And bleeding hearts, they die back in the summer. They're not going to do a lot in the summer, so it's a good plant to have for the spring. It's just going to be so bright and cheery and beautiful, and then it's going to die back in the summer, and then something else will pick up in this bed for me. So excited to add it. And I actually have the calyptrum that'll pick up after this one is done, or they might even bloom at the same time. So I'm excited about them as well. So really excited to add this one in my shade border as well. And I'm going to actually get the plants in the ground, and I will show you what this looks like when I'm all done. Very, very thrilled to find these at the plant sale, and I don't have these plants in my garden, so I'm excited to add them in these plants in the ground today. So my plants are in the ground, and I'm really thrilled with how this looks. The Hakonechloa forest grass is right in the front here, and I have the Ligularias in the back, and I have the Rodgersia in the middle. So it's kind of creating a little bit of a triangle with the grass in the front, I think, which will be really nice and vibrant. And then I have the two ferns, the lady and red ferns, on either side, and I really love how this turned out. It's kind of going to look really nice as it fills in and really gets big in this spot. It's going to fill in. Like this year, it's probably going to have put on some growth, but I don't expect it to do much. But I think over the next few years, it should really take shape. And I also planted the three Aquilegias, the bluebird, songbird ones, over here right at the border, so that I can enjoy them right in the front here. And I did add the gold bleeding hearts over there, somewhere in the middle of the bed, because this is a plant that's going to light up in spring, do its thing, and then die back. So I kind of wanted it to be somewhere in the center. As you can see from this side, it's going to just add this glow over here when it's in bloom, and then it's going to dissipate. So I think that would be a really good spot for it if it does well over there. Lots of roots here, lots of competition with roots. So plants generally in this spot take time to grow. So I am going to see how it does, and if it's not performing well, I will move it. But for now, I'm going to give these plants a shot in the spots that I have put them in. I also added a lot of manure in the potting hole, just because the soil here isn't the best quality, but there were lots of worms in there because I put all of this compost material last fall in this spot, so it has activated the soil. So I think with more planting and more digging and mixing in organic material, the soil will improve over time. So I just wanted to share with you what this is looking like, how this is shaping, and the hostas are still emerging, and they are also going to be very small because they're very new hostas, so don't have much expectation from them other than showing me some of their leaves this year. I will come out here and put some slow release fertilizer just to give these plants a bit of a boost, especially because the soil is not so rich in nutrients. And with that, I just wanted to thank you all for watching, and I wanted to give you a little glance of these daffodils that are blooming in my garden right now, and they are just beautiful. They're adding such a joyful kind of feeling in this woodland garden, and that's what I realized. I mean, this was just something I did last autumn just to test to see how these bulbs were going to look in the shady spot, and they really look good. And I plan to put some more daffodils all around the shade garden because they do really well before the trees leaf out. They just add this beauty in the garden, and I love these Tahiti daffodils. Highly recommend them. They are just stunning, beautiful daffodils, and love them so much, and I can't wait to see them again next year and enjoy these blooms. They have been blooming for about a week and a half now, and they're really in their prime right now. So just love how they look. And with that, I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I hope you got some good ideas to add to your shade garden. And do give me a thumbs up if you found this video useful, and if you are looking for shade plants, also let me know in comments below if you have any trouble spots and trouble growing plants in the shade, because I have tried a lot of plants in the shade because I do have a big shade woodland garden, and I've been experimenting over the last 2 years, and I can recommend some plants if you need help with shade gardening. So thank you so much, and I hope everyone has a fabulous day wherever you're joining me from my garden to yours. I hope you enjoy your day in the garden, and happy gardening, everyone.